Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome back to the Empowered Academy podcast with your host, Dr. Jenard D. I am so excited that you joined us for another amazing episode. Hey, listen, family, the content that I'm going to be talking about today, it's something that I've been thinking about for the last week and a half, something that I have been enamored by. And actually, I've been thinking about it a little bit longer, but I've just been thinking about it in the terms of I have to share this with the family because I want you all to do the same things that I am doing and the things that I'm working towards because we're in this thing together. So if you have not done so, go over to Instagram, hit that follow button. You can follow me at Dr. Jenard Moore. Once you've done that, head over to LinkedIn. Now, if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, I would strongly implore you to create a LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is your professional digital resume online. So go ahead and create that if you have not done so. But follow me at Jenard D. Moore, PhD. Once you've done those two things, head over to your favorite podcasting platform and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on your favorite podcasting platform. You can search for Empowered Academy. Again, you can search for Empowered Academy on your favorite podcasting platform. Leave us a 5-star reviews. Those reviews help new listeners find the podcast. Now, if you're looking at this on YouTube or if you're listening to this in your car, once you get to a safe space and stop, head over to YouTube. Follow me at Jenard D. Moore. Now, when you're over there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified every single time I release a new episode. I also want to give thanks to our this week's sponsor, which is HoneyBook. If you all don't know what HoneyBook is, HoneyBook presents an all-encompassing client management solution designed to effortlessly streamline your business operations. With HoneyBook, booking clients becomes a breeze. Payments are expedited for your convenience. Unlock a smooth business journey today by utilizing the link in the description to enjoy a generous 25% discount and kickstart your streamlined business process with HoneyBook. I use HoneyBook for all things Moore's Unlimited. So again, go ahead and use that link down below to get 25% off. Now, wanted to get through the pleasantries because today's content, man, I just want to go ahead and jump into it. I'm not going to keep you all long today. It's going to be a good episode, man. I'm telling you all, this concept of what I've been thinking about here is something that I've really been contemplating on. What am I leaving behind? So today I'm going to be talking to you all about legacy. What does legacy mean to you? When somebody asks me, what does legacy mean to me? I'm going to give them the definition, the Dr. Moore definition. And for the sake of this conversation, legacy is going to be based upon Dr. Moore's definition. And it's in layman's terms, legacy to me is the lasting impression that we leave on the world and those around us. So when it's all said and done, and we've left this earth and we've gone on to, to glories and we've gone on to the heavens, what are people going to say about you? I often think about that. What are people going to say about Dr. Jenard Moore when I leave this earth? I often think about that. What am I doing every single day to leave my mark on the world? So I'm going to give you a few steps of things that I am doing that is assisting me with being intentional about leaving my mark, leaving a lasting legacy. And I'm talking about this in terms of life in general. You could apply these terms, these steps here to any area of your life because you can leave a legacy with your family. You can leave a legacy at your job. You can leave a legacy, in the world. For me, it is my goal to leave my legacy to the world. In terms of legacy, and I'm gonna get to these steps, just building up to the steps. When I think about legacy, I immediately think about the greats: Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Sojourner Truth, the great African-American theologians, the great African-American Civil War heroes, Rosa Parks, the name goes on, Nat Turner, I can keep going. But that's what I think about when in the terms of legacy. Martin Luther King Jr., every year In January, we celebrate. February, we celebrate. So, what did he do to leave a legacy? What did he do? You can answer that question for yourself because you know what he did. He stood up for what he believed in. He was authentic. He was about purpose. So the first step in leaving a legacy is discovering your purpose. In order for you to leave a legacy, you have to understand what drives you, what gives you meaning. You have to reflect on your passions, your talents, and your values. What's your purpose in life? Once you identify your purpose in life, then you're on the right track to walking in that purpose every single day. And once you start walking in your purpose every single day, now you're on the road to leaving a legacy. For me, my students know this and people around me know this. My mantra for 2024 has been walk in purpose every single day. I want to do something every single day that is purposeful. My purpose in life is to impact as many young individuals as possible, specifically African American males. That's my niche. That's my group that I've been called to. But I'm also called to college students of all ages, all races, all genders. Also called to millennials. And so my purpose is leaving a mark and being a change agent. Being a change agent. How do you leave your mark? Again, discovering your purpose is the first step. Discovering your purpose, discovering your why. What's your why? What's the meaning behind why you do things? So again, step number one to identifying and leaving a legacy is discovering your purpose. And I want to actually add something to this one. The first few weeks of school, many of you all know that I am a college professor where I teach a freshman success college course. So in the beginning of the fall semester, the beginning of the spring semester, the first two classes, I have each student, and we do this twice, the first class as well as the second class. I have each student go around and tell me, what's your why? Why are you in college? Why are you majoring in whatever major you decided to choose? When you finish these next 4 years, what do you want your GPA to be? When you look back, are you going to be proud of the work that you put in? But again, the first thing I ask them is, what's your why? And so I'm going to ask you the same thing. What's your why? By answering that question, it will help you discover your purpose. Number 2 is intentional living. Now, this is something that I am gung-ho for in this season of life. Every move, every speaking opportunity, every networking connection is about intentionality. Who am I connecting to? What am I reading? What am I listening to? What am I watching? I'm very intentional about protecting myself, my mind, my thoughts, because I want to be an individual who is intentionally living. So that's step number 2 is intentional living. Once you discover your purpose, you want to be intentional about how you're using your purpose, what you're using your purpose to, what you're attached to, and you want to be deliberately aligning your actions with your purpose. That's what intentional living is. Deliberately aligning your actions with your purpose. You want to make choices that contribute positively to your legacy. So you want to be aware of, okay, I can't do what everybody else is doing because I'm intentional right now in this season of life about leaving my legacy. I'm intentional about protecting myself from whatever may be, and we're going to just say out there, because I know I am walking in purpose every single day. So for my students out there, and I tell my students this all the time, anytime you go to a party, anytime you're out on the yard, your character is on trial. People are always watching. People are always watching. What is this individual like when they're around their group of friends? What is this individual like when they are at a party? Are they the life of the party? Are they the one that's, people are having to carry out? When you're at work, People are watching how you handle situations. If you get an email and it's, not a quite nice email, how do you respond? When you get constructive criticism or constructive feedback, how do you respond? So what I mean by intentional living is keeping your character in check at all times, because people are always watching how you respond, how you handle situations. And again, when you walk out of your house, your character is always on trial. People are always watching to see how you handle situations. So step 1, discover your purpose. Step 2 is intentional living. Now, step 3, this is something that I'm working on, and I'm getting there, and I'm almost there. There's some things that, you're never going to be 100% perfect. There's some things that I'm still working on and that I want to get better at in my life. So step 3 is self-acceptance and contentment. Self-acceptance. You have to accept who you are. You have to accept where you are. You want to embrace yourself fully and find happiness in the present moment. Again, as I stated, there are things that I actively am working on to become a better individual, a better husband, a better father, a better friend, a better professor. So I'm always working on perfecting myself. But in doing so, I'm also accepting where I'm at in life. This is where I'm at. This is where I've been. This is where I'm going. Sometimes I used to get so far ahead of myself, especially in my 20s. I used to always think, man, I should be way much further in life than where I am. And I would be 22, 23. And there's times now that I still feel like I should be doing so much more in life than what I'm doing right now. But I had to stop, pause, and think about it and say, you know what? I've accomplished in whatever amount of time that I was saying that at whatever age, 25, 30, 28, whatever age, I've accomplished a lot in these many years. Let me accept where I am in life. Let me accept the chips that I have in my hands. And all I can do is do it what I have at that present moment and work on actively getting better. So to you, accept where you are. You are right where you're supposed to be. Don't rush the process. Because sometimes when we rush the process, we get ahead of ourselves and we cause destruction. So do not rush the process. The process is meant for you to go through to be refined. And I'm going to say that again. Do not rush the process. The process is there for you to go through to be redefined, to become the person that you are destined to be. You cannot skip the process. You can't skip it. I know this generation is a microwave generation and we want stuff in the microwave and out in 30 seconds, or we want success overnight. You can't skip the process. The process is in place to help you become who you want to be. So accept where you are, accept what you have, and go through the process. So again, that's step 3 is self-acceptance. Now, this next one here, and I always sit up because all of them are good. And when I'm writing these out, I'm like, ooh, I got to tell them this. I got to say this to the family. I got to say this. This is right here. This number 4 is, I'm going to just say it. Number 4, step 4 to leaving your legacy is you got to inspire the next generation. You got to inspire others around you. You have to inspire those that are in your circle, those that are around you. Inspire the next generation to be better than what they are. You have to share wisdom and knowledge with other people. Because how can you leave your legacy if people don't know what your thoughts and your perspective are? How can you leave legacy if you're not sharing wisdom to help somebody else get better? How can you leave your legacy if your knowledge is not out there in the world? Your intellectual property is not out there in the world. You all, I think I said this on another episode, the wealthiest place on earth is the cemetery. I heard Miles Monroe say that. He taught a message, and I think I said this on another episode. He taught a message that was entitled Die Empty. And in that message, he said the wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard, the cemetery, whatever you want to call it. Because so many people leave this earth and don't fulfill their purpose. So many people leave this earth and don't leave their legacy. So many people leave this earth and die unfulfilled. I'm so passionate about inspiring the next generation that sometimes I get so emotional at where I am in life. And what I mean by that is because of the impact that I have right now with the individuals that are in my circle, the responsibility that I have to leave my mark on the world. I get so emotional. The other day, I got an email for someone asking me to come and speak back in my hometown. And it was actually a mentoring program that I went through as a teenager. And so now I'm being asked to come back and speak to the next generation who are being raised up in this program. I literally sat in my chair for almost 10 minutes, just like, oh man, this really is a tearjerker right here. And I get asked to speak at different things all the time, but this one kind of hit a little bit different. The reason being is because maybe a week before I got the email, I called my mom and was like, hey, do you remember I used to go to Crosby Scholars Saturday Academy? And she was like, yeah, you ain't never want to go. And I was a student at Crosby Scholars on a Saturday Academy that was in there just to be seen. This was back when velour suits was in. And I had my nice velour suit on, my Sean John velour suit or my Polo Ralph Lauren velour suit. Those were popular back then. And I would go through those sessions and not pay attention. Education for me at the time wasn't important. Education for me at the time was being the class clown, making everybody laugh, doing just enough to get by. So when I got that email and I read it, it's like, yo, people are seeing the work that I'm putting in and the results are showing. But more importantly, I'm able to go back and inspire another generation. Because I know there's going to be a younger me in those sessions. And so the process that I've gone through of being the class clown, of procrastinating, not taking education seriously, doing just enough to get by, cheating myself, I can now go back and speak from a place of experience and say, yo, this is what you don't want to do. So the responsibility for me to inspire the next generation weighs heavy on my shoulders. Every day when I go to work as the Black Male Initiative Director, I'm grateful to walk on my alma mater's campus, the place where I played around as a undergrad student, the place where I graduated from with a 2.43 GPA, the place where, again, I did just enough to get by. I'm now able to speak from a place of experience and say, hey, I got myself together. I've gone on and got my master's. I've gone on and got my PhD. I've got myself together. Don't do these things. So again, for me, this thing about inspiring the next generation weighs so heavy on my heart, on my shoulders. That's what I'm here for. That's my purpose. Is to give back, to not hold information, to not gatekeep. If a student asks me, hey, Dr. Moore, how do I start a business? What software are you using? If somebody asks me in corporate America when I was there, how do you do this? What is this formula? Well, how do you get this? What is concatenating in Excel? What is all this stuff? You know, I'm quick to tell them. I don't want to gatekeep because I want people to say, yo, Dr. Moore, Jenard taught me this. Now I'm teaching it. So inspiring the next generation is really big to me. You want to demonstrate a strong work ethic and perseverance. You want to establish meaningful traditions and values. Invest in quality time and nurturing relationships is how you inspire the next generation. Give back. Don't hold information. Share. Don't be afraid for somebody to outshine you. I want my students to do 10 times better than I did at their age. If I can share a real life story with my students to keep them from going through some of the things that I've went through, I'm gonna share it. If I can help a student start a podcast and get on over 80 different podcasts and platforms like we are, I'm gonna share it. If they get on 100, kudos, I'm proud of you. So I'm intentional about inspiring the next generation. Again, first step to leaving your legacy is discovering your purpose. Second step is intentional living. Third step is self-acceptance, accepting where you are and who you are. The fourth one is inspiring the next generation. And the fifth one that I have for you all today is you got to document the journey. You got to take pictures. You got to take photos. You got to document the journey. You got to document the journey. We would have never known about some of the things that the greats in history did if no one documented the journey. We would have never known. We would have never known. I was in Delaware almost sometime last month, and it was amazing to me because we were a couple of miles away from the Underground Railroad. And then there were some landmarks up in Delaware that Harriet Tubman, actually walked past. And I'm just like, how do they know that this specific house was a part of the Underground Railroad? Because documentation, people documented it. People documented it. One of the greats passed away right before COVID, Kobe Bryant. And now all of his former teammates, coaches, within the last few years have been coming out and saying, yo, this is what Kobe was like in the locker room. This is what Kobe was like outside and in the practice. This is what Kobe was like. And there's a lot of footage of Kobe because people documented the process. When you have greatness on the inside of you, you cannot afford not to document the process. You cannot afford to not document the process. Now I'm going to say that one again. When you have greatness on the inside of you, you cannot afford to not document the process. Your documentation is going to be an aid in leaving your mark on history. People are going to need to see what you're doing. They're going to need to read about what you did. They're going to need to hear about it. Starting a podcast is a great way for you to document the process because people can actually hear your voice. The reason why the I Have a Dream speech is so powerful is because you hear Martin Luther King's voice. You hear the feelings behind it. You hear the emotion. You hear the trials and the tribulations. You hear the inflections in his voice when he's talking. You hear the modulations when he gets excited. You can hear the pain in his voice. You can hear the desire in his voice. That's why the I Have a Dream speech has lived on for so many years and will continue to live on when you and I have left this earth. It's because we can hear it in his own voice. People need to hear your voice. People need to hear your voice. I have students that and clients that are introverts and they want to put content out, but they don't want to be seen. That's okay. Show your face maybe once or twice on your Instagram, do a TikTok reel, show your face, but your voice. I don't think people realize that your voice is one of the most powerful tools that you have. Your voice is one of the most powerful tools that you have. There's somebody out there waiting to hear your voice. Your legacy is dependent upon you utilizing your voice, utilizing your knowledge, utilizing your skills. So when I have clients and students that say, I don't want to be seen, I don't want to be heard. No, there's greatness on the inside of you. Use your voice. Even if you just do a voiceover on your Instagram, people need to hear your voice. So I'm challenging each and every person that is listening to this episode to get out of your comfort zone, because there's greatness on the inside of you. Get out of your comfort zone and leave a legacy and leave your mark on this world. Get out of your comfort zone and be who you're called to be. Get out of your comfort zone and start aspiring the next generation. No longer can you wait around for whatever you're waiting on to leave your mark on history. Now is the time for you to use your voice. Now is the time for you to utilize your skills. Now is the time for you to get up and move towards your legacy. Now is the time for you to discover your purpose. Now is the time for you to begin intentionally living. Now is the time for you to accept who you are and where you are. It's okay. You're right where you're supposed to be. Don't rush the process. You can't skip over the process. The process is going to make you who you are destined to be. The process, you can't skip it. Go out and inspire the next generation. That's what you're here for. Replicate yourself. Share your knowledge. Don't gatekeep. Don't be afraid to share information in fear of somebody outshining you. Share the information. You'll get it back in return. And number 5, document the process. You have to document the process. You have to document the process. Man, I hope y'all feeling this one, man, because I get so passionate about this type of stuff right here. I have my notes and I don't even need them, because this is my passion. This is my purpose, is to inspire you to become who you are destined to become. To inspire you to become who you are destined to become. There's greatness on the inside of you. You're destined for success. Man, I'll catch y'all on the next episode, because I can keep going, man. I feel myself getting so passionate about this. I can keep going and going and going, because I want you all to be who you are destined to be. That's all I want for everybody that I come in contact with, is for you to become who you are destined to be. And if I can help you in that journey, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you, because I am intentionally walking in my purpose every single day, doing something that is getting me a little bit closer to my purpose. So I challenge you to discover your purpose. Be intentional about where you are and accepting what you got going on. Inspire the next generation and document the process. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. Let me know what you got out of this right here, man, because this one is one of them ones for me. This is one of those ones. I'm Dr. Jenard Moore, man. You've been listening to the Empowered Academy podcast. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Dr. Jenard Moore. Make sure you follow me over on LinkedIn, Jenard D Moore, PhD. Subscribe to the Empowered Academy podcast on your favorite podcasting platform. Hit that like, that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified every single time I release a new episode. Hey, what's going on, family? I hope this video empowered you and motivated you. If you've enjoyed the content, be sure to like and subscribe so you can be notified every time I release a new episode. Also, don't forget to check out these other videos I have right here. I'll see you on the next one.